What does it take to find love these days? Huh? What's your greatest strengths? How do you love? I'll tell you all the nuances about you, dating, what kind of gifts you want, what kind of marriage you want, what kind of person you want to live with and don't want to live with, and of course how you love, how you lust, what you're drawn after, who chases you, and your greatest lesson, which is often a weakness. Your birthday love and lust report has that answer. We'll reveal your secrets on video at secretsofbirthdays.com. So garden. Hello and welcome to Soul Horoscopes Orbits Edition. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Rayman Witecki, your soul biographer, here to help you put the parts of the planets into your soul story. And I've got good news. Many have asked. I am now open for personal readings. If you come down right now to soulmart.me and buy a 1-hour reading at my normal rate, which is $116 an hour, I will throw in a free Secrets of Birthdays video. That's right. And right now when you book, you can immediately request a date. So we're trying to upgrade this whole system. Come on down to soulmart.me while supplies of me last. I do kind of book pretty quickly, but I'm excited to get in front of new clients again. And of course, repeat clients can come down as well, always, for the standard rate. Well, we've got a lot going on. The sun's moving into Pisces. We've got Mercury retrograde this week, and we've got a major conjunction with opening our psychic intuition. So without further ado, let's take the Ascension elevator and talk all about you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. While riding the Ascension elevator, objects and mirrors are closer than they appear. In the unlikely event of a water landing, you have a Pisces under your seat. Cabin crew, please prepare for gut check.
And here we are up at 33,000 feet, and this is the 7-day move forecast, of course, for Tauruses, Taurus risings, and what we call the natural-born producers, if you bought a Lightcast report card. We are shifting out of career and into your social reputation this week. The sun moves into Pisces, and the beginning of this is the way you contextualize yourself in the world. The truth is you may have always seen yourself as, in my case, the last guy finishing, the nice guy finishing last, or, the blue collar or the green collar. We contextualize ourselves in society, and that limits us over time. So there's a lot of reworking with how you feel like you belong in the world, Taurus. And this week you're going to see a bit of a breakdown in your old perception and the birth of a new. This will move to your diplomacy, your social reputation, fame, etc., all that as well. Now there are several planets focused on this. Neptune for nearly 14 years. At the end of the day, Tauruses and Taurus risings are God's service providers to the world. They basically facilitate growth and spiritual development. That's what you are when you're a manifester. Here to help you is Chiron, Mars, Mercury, and Neptune, like I said. So listen to intuition. That's what's key in the beginning of the week. Really sense what your guides in the universe are telling you. Log into your higher self in that regard. At the same time, Mercury will retrograde through this space. So you're going to think about it, rethink about it, and think about it again here in the 2013 season. In other news, the Saturn in Scorpio lesson, which is you changing your mirage, the way you relate to yourself, and therefore marriages, your approach to marriages and long-term partnerships, that is officially on hold. Saturn goes retrograde on Monday, and that means that you will now spend the next 6 months or so till July 8th rethinking your position on where you treat yourself, how you treat yourself, where your personal emotional boundaries are with yourself, and this directly will affect and change the way you see yourself in marriages or strategic business alliances as well. The other big story or orbit is Pluto, I protect. You continue to move forward, protecting what you don't know. In other words, protecting the future, protecting an open mind. That's what Tauruses have to protect, is an open mind in order to learn and find new purpose and meaning as the world is changing. So keep that mind open, but do not go back to old beliefs, Taurus, as of now, says Pluto. Love and trust where you are so far. So I have rebuilt the horoscopes, and as a Taurus, you understand how many times we have to build things till we get it right. I think this is it. I now do the 7-day, day-by-day play mood forecast in outer space where all of the plates are together. So let's fly out there and take a look at the new view. All right, so we still have the timeline at the bottom, but it's no longer animated. Some people were saying they're getting seasick. Let's start, of course, with Sunday. On Sunday, it's cloudy but cool. The moon is still in Taurus, but you might have a career test of faith. You just need to endure and move forward. I know I did. I'm still shooting the horoscopes. But that said, it is about moving forward and knowing everything will work out okay. On Monday, it is cloudy but rather productive. It is a 0-degree day. Zero means zero. There's no energy on the planet really for where we love or where to point things. We just have to stay focused on what we know. At the same time, the moon moves into Gemini and crosses Jupiter. What that does for the bulls is create a yod in the house of soul capital. So it is about taking your new boundaries with relationships. Basically, Tauruses have cut off a lot of energetic fat, hopefully, cutting away from the marriages that don't serve you, the parts of your relationship that don't serve you, and the relationships in life that don't serve you. At the same time, an open mind to the future. Those two things are what raise the feeling of soul capital for bulls. However, bulls have uncertainty when it comes to where they belong in society. That's the red line going from soul capital and Jupiter and the moon over to the sun Neptune. So be working out fears this week with where you fit in and your pricing structure. On Tuesday, it's sunny and some major manifesting. The sun will click into gear. You'll start to feel your reputation come online in the world, and the moon is big time in Gemini. At the same time, you are starting to receive perhaps accolades or some sort of feedback from the world with the moon trining Venus over in Pisces. So the moon is working, Venus in Aquarius, forgive me. So what you are starting to receive, my guide's like, that's wrong, something's wrong about that. You ever do that? You're like, I know that's wrong. Venus is still receiving from your career efforts in Aquarius, and that's trining down to the moon in Gemini. So you're really starting to feel the potential of soul capital being raised. On Wednesday, it's cloudy and rather pensive. The moon will be in Cancer at this point, shifting emotional focus to thoughts and attitude. At the same time, the sun conjuncts Neptune, so there's a real intuitive sense for the bulls about where they may really truly belong. So listen to your guides. But also we have a temporary soul pyramid in water. So everyone's emotions will catch up to them. This is the first seasonal emotional growth that we've had. The moon in Cancer allows you to be a bit liquid with your thoughts. That trines into your new sense of marriage, or at least what you won't marry, and that over to your place in society. So it's a feeling of attitude mixing with where you belong, mixing with who you've been approaching in partnership, and really shifting. At the same time, thoughts and beliefs square off or oppose each other when the moon opposes Pluto on Wednesday. On Thursday, Jupiter rules the day, and so it's a sunny and chatty day. You're expanding ideas, connecting, expanding out. This is shaking hands and kissing babies. It's a very political time, really, when you're doing a social or I belong transit. So Thursday is a real day to get the word out or do some Facebook posts, that sort of thing. On Friday, it's cloudy but social conflicts. And bring back the Friday dance. I think you're going to be, you might have some issues in society. There might be a breakdown, or there might be a major misconception about who a friend is or isn't, unfortunately. And this is really the setup for the Sun Pisces lesson. The moon in Cancer might make your mind go too far. Watch your tongue. The moon is trining Mars on this day, so you could really go too far with the tongue. And not to mention, we're right before Mercury retrograde, so breakdown is in the air. Looking at the planets, there's such a party with Tauruses getting it when it comes to society. The sun has crossed Neptune by Friday, but it has not yet crossed Chiron. Now, Chiron there is healing old failed attempts, where you thought you knew what you were in society, but you were wrong, or you aimed, or you're misunderstood, or a past life thing. So you're healing old attempts and building new. Plus Mars is there, so you're a little impatient about getting things done, and Mercury will go retrograde in 24 hours. So a lot of stuff going on. I guess what I'm trying to say is self-compassion will certainly get you through this one, and is part of the lesson in Pisces. On Saturday, it's sunny, nesting, and resting, sliding into home base. The moon will ground you. It's time to restore to your attention to your own feelings, your own family, maybe clean the house. That's what I always do. The moon trines Uranus, so there's a major shifting and learning of belief structure probably. And like I said earlier, Mercury is in retrograde, as you can see there. So Mercury now moves backwards for 3 weeks. This is you reconsidering where you feel like you belong, and even in the end of the retrograde, reconsidering where you think your career plans are. All good. It's seasonal. It happens every year, and it begins on Saturn Day. Then on Sunday, sunny and grounded, you're still technically nesting and resting on this day, but Venus rules the day, so you will restore balance with your sense of belonging in the world. You will find that not everything has changed. You might have a relationship or friendship that restores balance, or you might hear from someone from the past. One of the interesting things about Mercury retrograde in Pisces, you tend to pull in old friendships to get reflection on where you want the new friendships to go. So don't be too surprised if someone out of nowhere from the 5th grade adds you on Facebook. All right, Taurus, Taurus rising, let's fly home. Compassion. Really, you should be grateful for yourself this week. That's the beginning of real spirituality. Before we can tolerate others, we have to tolerate ourselves. And this is the week more than any to honor yourself, honor what you've done, and be compassionate to you. All right. Now, by the way, I have a GA guided hangouts every Monday at 12 noon. If you've purchased a Lightcast report card, come on down. I will tutor you during this hour. I also show up and talk to anyone that shows up. Come on down. I'm always there on Mondays at 12 noon Pacific. And by the way, if you are a part of GA Text right now, I will be sending you those guided hangouts. So from now on, I'm going to be sending out videos that you might have missed. That's all part of being watched over by the Guardian Agency. These are texts I watch every day. If you'd like to start the service for just one penny, email or text or both, come on down to gatext.me. All right, folks, that's all I have for this week. I love you, and I will see you next week. Remember, be grateful to yourself and live, love, be.